So tell me, if we were to, just to double check if this is okay and useful, if we were to play the game today, what fear would you like to work on?
So my fear is around what I'm doing at the moment. My career's, I left my job last year and I've trained as a coach. So I took that big leap. But I'm at that stage now where I'm thinking things should start to be happening and I'm getting frustrated. So the fear is that, another 6 months goes by and I still are not getting, coaching clients or my mindfulness coaching. And so and my husband will be, worrying about the money and it's going to prevent us, going on holidays and doing, things I want to be doing. But, I feel positive, but it's still that little sort of that fear inside that, I'm going to I'm going to have to go back and get a job.
Oh,
time. Yeah. Not a job, employer.
Yes.
Employed
Okay.
again.
And tell me, out of 10, how big is this fear that you will have to go and get a job in 6 months' time? Go back to where you escaped from?
It is probably quite. Yeah, it fluctuates, I'd say, at the moment from day to day. So at the beginning of last week, it was probably high. It was high the other day, and then I find things happen during the day and new connections come along, and I go, oh no, it's all going to be out. So probably if I say about a 7, yeah.
Yeah, that's what my feeling. Okay, so the fear of that actually, even though you love what you do, right? That it will not provide enough money to give you everything that you need for the family, and you will have to go back to job is about 7. Okay, I think I'm very happy with this example because it's very much related to what we were saying earlier. But I would love to ask you, so you do coaching and you do mindfulness as well, is that right?
Yeah. So I've trained as a mindfulness instructor as well. So I've spent, quite a few months learning and practicing, and now I'm putting things out there, but I'm not getting. I was going to get lots of response to my exciting course that I put out, and I didn't. So my confidence, I suppose, has been knocked a bit, and then I start to go, oh, should I be doing something different?
Okay. And you started doing it when? How long has it been?
So I qualified at the end of November and only qualified at the beginning of January. But prior to that, I was, trying to get myself ready and not wait to my qualifications.
Oh, that's early days.
Yeah, I know.
So it sounds like you're a bit tough on yourself, I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, if we were to go to the end of the year, but I want you to be positive but realistic, right? Because of course, things take time. And, often people say to me, how come do you have over 100 people in your courses? What do you do? And I say, well, bear in mind that I've been doing this almost 18 years. So it takes time sometimes to build the flow. And people know that what I do, and they send friends. They may not come, but because they've seen me do it over and over again, it's almost like it's always there, right? But when I started doing my other course, the expansion game, and nobody knows what it is, like in the world, and it's also a bit scary, and it's like dealing with fears. I had less than half of the amount of people in the room, right? Yeah. And I was thinking, shit, what am I doing wrong, right? But actually nothing. It will take time to let people know who I am, what I do, and why this is good for them. So I just want you to be a bit gentle with yourself, right? It's really important to keep things in perspective. But nevertheless, imagine this is the end of the year, and you have done extremely well, better than expected. Describe to me how the situation looks like. How many clients you have, what's happening, how much money you're making.
Hmm. So realistic, sort of, if I'm looking at having, because the coaching clients, I want to have maybe two on the go at once, who are maybe doing two or three going on at the same time, but staggered over the week. And my mindfulness course, I would like to have maybe run 3 of those, and they're like a 6-week program. So, so if I've got 3 clients that I've signed, that have signed up to like a 6-month program, and I've run 3 mindfulness courses.
And how much money are you making monthly, roughly speaking, a year from now?
Minimum, to just, keep my husband happy would probably be and obviously, not live the luxury lifestyle I had when I was fully employed. Probably about £1,500 a month would be enough. That would be enough to live on. But obviously, I'd like to earn more than that.
So how much, like if we go a year later, things build up, how much money would you like to be earning a year later?
A year later, probably 30,000.
So that it's a month, how much?
So that would be, yes, say £3,000 a month.
Okay, that's very realistic, my darling. Okay, and tell me, do you want to coach general public? Do you want to coach businesses? Who do you want to coach? Who's your ideal client?
Yes, I ask myself that a lot, and I've trained as an executive coach, so I could do workplace ones, but I'm probably more drawn to individuals because I'm much more about the sort of whole person, their whole well-being, and so their lifestyle, their health, their really everything that's going on in their lives, and more, and them bringing in the mindfulness. But I'm quite interested in the mindfulness in the workplace, because I think that's where I think it can help with leaders and again bring out the more compassionate side of the leadership that we need.
If I can tell you something, it's not part of the expansion game, so I'm sort of sidetracking here now, but I have to say this actually. I find that everything we've ever done in our life, it's part of the beautiful, the mosaic, the picture that we have painted. Yeah. And it's no point actually cutting anything off too much. Like you see, Audrey Elliott said, I'm a nurse, and it's no point her completely disregarding years of, studying and understanding people. It's good to combine it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do a lot of, I coach a lot of business people. In fact, most of my clients probably are business people, whether they pay for it themselves or the company pays them. And the coaching doesn't differ in any shape or form. So that's why I would like you to open your mind up to be also a business executive coach. And primarily, people are so stressed out in business, right? They need mindfulness more than anywhere. The burning out, getting depressed, committing suicide, wanting to leave a job and going to a better job because they're stressed. And I think I would almost say that if you completely disregard business, it's almost selfish. Particularly you speak the language, and plus from a point of view, you don't have to use this or that. You can use both. You can, work with both sort of kind of people, businesses and private clients. But in essence, sometimes you could actually go for one day to a company, and you could do a mindfulness course and do a few people, coaching with few people, and you can earn in one day, in theory, what and you make your husband happy. Yeah. Okay. So let me just ask you this: if you had to go back to normal employment, what would be the worst thing about it?
I think having to probably go in at a level where I'm being managed by people that I don't respect, or that, I think, or see me as a a bit of a failure because I, left, and then I've tried to do my own business, and then I've come back out
Right.
of
So you
desperation.
so being managed by people who don't like, disrespect, they are not doing things properly, feeling a failure. But if you had to go back there, and if you felt really like a failure, get annoyed with all those leaders who shouldn't be leaders, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like the worst. Exaggerate.
Well, I'd be really miserable, and I'd literally fall back into stress and be overwhelmed, and end up being off sick again, and just not being really unhappy, and yeah.
And then what will happen? What do you think will happen to your husband?
Yeah, well, he'll probably end up being stressed as well. Oh no, he'll be supportive, but yeah, I'm not sure he would. It depends how much we needed the money, I suppose. Yeah,
Okay.
How much I was needed in that job.
Okay, so the worst thing would be that you would spiral down in your mental health, right? And then you can go to see Audrey, and she could sort of help you. You could go with the kind of therapy. It's never the end of the world, And so feeling a failure, right? And be going off sick. So really, what you really dread is what's happening to other people all the time.
And it happened to me before, so that's why I think it's always in the back of my mind. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great. So that's the worst thing. Okay. Maybe getting depressed and not even being able to earn any money, right? It's getting sick. Okay, cool. So that's the worst possible scenario. Now tell me again, describe to me, imagine that you open your mind, work with this kind of group, yes, private people and the businesses. What would you absolutely love to see happening a few years from now if you knew that you are outstandingly successful in terms of what will be happening with your clients and in the world if you're outstandingly successful? How will you measure it?
I think there'll be an increase in number of people who, all leaders will have coaches, and people will be actually asking more. They will be seen as acceptable, and mindfulness in sort of as mindfulness is going to be a bigger thing as exercise, physical exercises.
Yeah.
Going to the gym and doing daily exercise. Daily mental health and looking after your mind is going to be as big.
Great. So you become one of the pioneers in the world of the mental fitness, right? Emotional mental fitness. Fantastic. So and I want you to think, if you could do that, if you could be one of the people who is the mover and shaker in the business, how would it feel if you managed to do that? Prevent people from getting off sick and getting really depressed, and what happened to you? How would that feel?
I feel very rewarding, and feeling that's sort of purpose, that I sort of felt I had a purpose that's been fulfilled. Just the fact that you've had an impact on one person, to me is a reward in itself. So. And that's why I think with the coaching, it's almost wanting to be able to help more people than just doing 2 or 3 in one go. So, being able to do workshops and things that you've done, Gosia, where you can, reach more people, and be online more so that I can reach more people.
Okay, fantastic. And imagine that you're helping companies to treat people differently. You teach them mindfulness, and you have managed in many companies to achieve this goal that every leader has got a coach. If you successfully reduce the stress, you increase the mindfulness, the peace and effectiveness in the company. just out of interest, how much do you think you should be earning a month? Making so much difference to the company as well, right? The bottom line.
Yeah.
How much money do you think you should be earning? And I want you to be honest and like say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Probably then say £10,000 a month.
That's right. Absolutely. Or more. Great. So good. So now take a deep breath in. Breathe out. We're going to play the expansion game and say this. I allow myself.
I allow myself.
To keep on hiding a bit.
To keep on hiding a bit.
And really judge the corporations and the businesses ferociously.
And to really judge the corporations and the businesses ferociously.
And never ever want to go back there.
And never ever want to go back there.
Even as a coach.
Even as a coach.
And I allow myself to spend the next few months hiding.
And I'll allow myself to spend the next few months hiding.
And have no money.
Have no money.
Upset my husband.
Upset my husband.
And then go back to...
listening.
He's not, he is or he's not. And then go back to the full employment.
And go back to the full employment.
Get extremely stressed out.
And be extremely stressed out.
Lose my mindfulness.
Lose my mindfulness.
Get extremely grumpy.
Be extremely grumpy.
Depressed.
Depressed.
And go off sick.
And go off sick.
And feel like a failure.
Feel like a failure.
And never ever do any kind of work in my life ever again.
And never do any work of any sort ever again in my life.
And I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm looking forward to it.
My husband can look after me instead.
Yeah, my husband can look after me.
I'm joking. If he ever used to it. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. But I also allow myself to be honest about my experience.
I also allow myself to be honest about my experience.
Immediately go back to all the possible companies who stress their employees profoundly.
And immediately go out to all those companies who've got stress profoundly.
Give them some free talks about what's possible.
Give them some free talks about what's possible.
Teach them simple tips of how to reduce stress in the company.
Teach them some simple tips how to reduce stress in the company.
Be prepared to be the best coach for them.
Be prepared to be the best coach for them.
Charge them a lot of money for this.
Charge them a lot of money for this.
And even earn £1,000 a day if I want to.
And earn £1,000 a day if I want to.
And spend the rest of the time coaching other kind of people who can't afford this amount of money.
And spend the rest of the time coaching other sorts of people who can't afford that level of money.
And teach my mindfulness courses successfully.
And teach my mindfulness courses successfully.
For general public and for businesses.
For general public and for businesses.
And make a huge difference in the world.
And make a huge difference in the world.
And also make my husband happy.
And also make my husband very happy.
But primarily make myself happy.
But mainly make myself happy.
And I allow myself to prevent other people, particularly women, from burning out.
And I allow myself to help particularly other women from burning out.
And getting really stressed out unnecessarily.
And getting stressed out unnecessarily.
And create a new way of handling mental health and fitness in all the companies.
And create a new way of handling mental health and fitness in all the companies.
And give myself time to write about it, record videos about it.
And give myself time to write about it and record videos about it.
But be also courageous and invite myself to connect with leaders so they know who I am.
Also be courageous and connect with leaders so that they can know who I am.
Including my old employers.
Including my old employers.
And I'm looking forward to going back and showing them what can be done differently.
I'm looking forward to going back and showing them what can be done differently.
I also allow myself to be an expert in mindful coaching.
And I also allow myself to be an expert in mindful coaching.
And becoming more successful when combining coaching and mindfulness together.
And becoming more successful by combining coaching and mindfulness together.
And teaching all my clients how to meditate.
And teaching all my clients how to meditate.
So they're not only successful, but peaceful.
So they're not only successful, but peaceful.
And I'm looking forward to being extremely successful at this.
And I'm looking forward to being extremely successful at this.
Maybe even write a book.
Maybe even write a book.
About my experience and my success.
About my experience and my success.
And lead a peaceful and joyous life.
Lead a peaceful and joyous life.
And be a good example for others.
And be a good example for others.
And I'm looking forward to doing this.
And I'm looking forward to doing this.
Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Okay, once again, deep breath in and let all of that stress out. Okay, and tell me how you're feeling and what happened to your fear.
Yeah, I'm feeling really positive and inspired by that. And I've let go of that fear, and I've actually let go of another fear that I sort of was there, but I didn't bring that one up, but it's been resolved by literally something that you just said.
And what fear was that?
Did you share that?
Yeah.
Well, literally 12 months almost to this month, I went off sick from my job with stress, and tomorrow is the first day I'm stepping foot back in the building, and because I haven't been back, it's not to see them, but it's in their building, it's for a course that somebody's running, and so for me that's going to be a really big thing. And I had sort of taught myself that no, it's going to be absolutely fine, but inwardly I was thinking, oh, what happens if I bump into my old boss? What happens if I bump into other people? What am I going to say? And I had this thing about I'm not going to do any work for that organisation. I can't, I'm just not. But something that you said and something that's come out is, well, that was that. Why am I saying that?
Yeah.
They need my help.
Absolutely.
More than anybody else at the moment.
That's right. And I have to say, and I really hope that you will bump into someone there.
Yeah, I'm going to bump into the chief executive tomorrow. I know I am. So I'm going to be prepared, though. I'm going to have something ready to say I can help. I've got an offer for you that you can't refuse.
Oh, my darling, I'm so glad that I've chosen you. As soon as I saw you in the webinar, your lovely, pretty face, like, there we go. I need to speak to you because there's something important, and now we know why. But you see, the thing is, if you don't bump into anybody, you need to go and find him and say, listen, him or her, and say, listen, I'm so delighted to be here because I have so quickly recovered, right? I've been on the floor, and in that time I have learned to meditate. I shifted my life around. I became a coach, a successful coach. I'm helping people to be more relaxed. And now I've decided, if you feel that I can now help you guys here, I would so much love to do so. And
nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether they say yes or no, but this is your expanding. This is stepping out of your fear. But remember, behind your biggest fears and your biggest what's the word I was looking for? The biggest resistances. That's where your biggest success is lying. Because it may be that you become extremely successful in this company, or may not be him. He may say, actually, I want to introduce you to someone else. They're fine, but the other company, they are really stressed out. So, darling, I'm really proud of you. And I also want to congratulate you on so quickly moving from being sick and well, turning your life around, learning how to meditate, learning to coach, passing the exam, becoming a coach. This is really speedy transformation.
But Gosia, I just share this because Fran knows this, but it was at your expansion thing last January, you know, your January one. I was in the middle of all that going on at work, and I was quite emotional, and you came up to me and you put your hand on my shoulder and said, Evelyn, you're going to be a coach. And I did this. And I did that whole expansion thing around being a coach, but then I didn't leave my job straight away. I carried on and sort of thought, oh, I'll be fine, you know. And then when I was off, I really started to think about it, and you know, and so I had intentions, you know, that I set in that January. So by the end of the year, I had met, you know, my intentions that I started off with at that event. So this January was just more about expanding it to be, you know, even better than it is. But I just can't wait. I can't wait. I'm just very
okay. So I want you to close your eyes now. And everybody, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to now go 2 or 3 years into the future when you are really profoundly helping people, and particularly those who are about to burn out or have burnt out, and they're leaving jobs because it's too stressful, because they don't know how to handle things. And notice what else are you doing to help them, who you're contacting, and what is the key of your success. Why are you successful in doing what you're doing? How are people finding out about you? What are you doing there which you're not doing now? And I want you to send love to your future self. Feel proud of yourself. Send love to yourself, send love to your clients, send love to your attendees of all the courses you're ever going to run. Bless them with amazing life. See them happy, leaving your courses peaceful, relaxed, and your clients becoming extremely grounded, peaceful, successful, happy, and having a wonderful effect on other people in the organization, on the family, and spreading the mindfulness, peacefulness, love, relaxation, and groundedness across the whole world. So just see that. Ask your future self for a piece of advice for what you need to do now. Come back, open your eyes, and tell me one last thing, one last sentence of what do you feel now about your mission? It's actually a mission, right? What do you feel about it? And what advice do you have for other people who have been in the same situation as you?
So I feel very strongly that that the positive intentions that you have enable you to think clearer about the steps that you need to take. So I think I'm much clearer about the steps I need to take. And anybody who's in that situation where they're struggling to know what they want to do with that job, is to do do that whole part, that breathing and focus, and really listen to their intuition and what their gut is telling them, because I ignored my gut for a long time, and that's why I ended up in the situation I was. So really connect with your body and what it's telling you, the early signs of any stress that your body gives away. Don't ignore it, but also listen to what else it might be telling you.